Hi, this is my 5-minute video for the second leadership reflection. So, a concept I found interesting from my study of both modules. That in chapter 7, it mentioned vision. I found that very interesting because I can think of various leaders around the world who have visions. For example, I think the leader of Lebanon has a vision to transform Beirut, which is one of the most well-known cities in Lebanon. He wants to transform it into a very futuristic city with a lot of technological advancements. Another concept I found interesting was in chapter 9, and that is the term inclusion. Inclusion is including many different individuals into a group and organization. I found this interesting because back before Martin Luther King, the U.S. was not very inclusive at all. For example, slavery was a thing, there's segregation. And nowadays, inclusion issues do still exist, but they are a lot better than they were before Martin Luther King. One more concept I found interesting was in chapter 3, and that is theory X. I found it interesting because of the assumptions, because the assumptions of it really do resemble that of a very socialist society. It's because in the theory it says that people need to be controlled and directed, and people just like working. And in a communist society, everybody shares everything, and people want security, not responsibility. In communism, people are given lots of security, while there's still some responsibility because they share everything. It's significantly less than that of a democratic society, because in democratic society, you are working for yourself, and you aren't sharing everything. The emotions that I experienced in my study of both modules vary. For one, I experienced confusion because I never really understood why there are super social societies. In smaller communities, things like this can work, but it's been proven over time and time again that 99% of the time, I would say, communism doesn't work. You could look back at history, Cuba, you could look at, China does. China's communist and it works. But the point is that communism most of the time doesn't work. Another emotion I felt was joy. I felt this because when I read about vision, I merely thought my parents, when they were younger, they didn't have great grades, neither went to college, and both were 1.6 GPA students in high school, but they had a vision of owning their own business and made it happen. At the age of 50, they were approaching the wealthy segment and were starting making lots of money, buying lots of expensive cars, basically what a lot of wealthy people do. The problem was, in 2000, when the stock market crashed, they lost everything. And luckily they sold their business for what they could gain, and we kept everything. Like, we kept the house and stuff. We obviously sold the cars, but the point is we recovered, and now we're doing fine. The point is the vision they had seemed really far-fetched, which was to own their own business and climbing from the bottom of society, especially since they came from so low, and it's amazing to see what they accomplished when they set their minds to it. The thing I am most curious about is stereotypes. Why do we as humans feel the need to stereotype everything? I personally know I do all the time, and it's just an instinct, I think, at this point, because I've done it for so long. But a lot of people around the world also do it, if not everybody does it sometimes. And I think it's just something that's mind-blowing to me. And especially when we do it to people or objects we just see in general. Something I'm discovering is that I do have the tools to be a leader. I do have a vision to lead them. For example, I know I want to own my own business, and build it from the ground up. I think that would be great to do. I think I have the tools to do it. Especially, I want to be a CEO, and that involves me leading a company. I'm the face of a company, and I am someone they can look up to. I think I do have the qualities to do that. And I do know when my vision turns into reality, I will definitely be that role model my employees will look to follow. I can apply a few things that I've learned in these two modules to the study abroad program in a few ways. One, when I'm planning my trips to travel, I'm very inclusive. I go out of my way to always ask around and make sure to see if anyone wants to come, because I don't want people to feel left out, or especially if people do want to go, I feel like I should go up to them and talk it out and see if they want to come or if they have their own plans and see how that goes. Another thing I can apply is conflict. I have conflicting opinions. I'll use an example. For this weekend, I had a choice between Rome and Munich, and Rome was very appealing. You see the Roman Colosseum, you see the great food they have. But then Munich, I ended up choosing Munich because I really wanted to go to Germany. I've never been to Germany, and I always hear good things about Germany. Also, I am going to be in Italy for Monday and Tuesday, so this was just, it made a lot more sense to me to go to Munich, especially since I wanted to go to Germany. I was very conflicted when I made this decision, but I do not regret it because I think it was definitely worth it. All right, and that concludes my second journal reflection. And yeah.